Tuned in to www.oghuskyradio.com, broadcasting live from the east side of Los Angeles, worldwide. Interviews every Thursday night. Who we got up in the spot, man? Let them know.
What up? Mr. NUTZO LCF BLACKSMITHS.
What is a nutso? Where did that name come from? What does that mean, dog?
That's just a crazy nut, man. Just a fucking crazy motherfucker.
How'd you come up with that name? Was it given to you, or?
Well, yeah, it was given to me by some of my older cousins, man. I was always talking about, hey, I want to do like a drawing of a chick wearing a dildo that's a dick or something. You know, just weird shit in my head. And like, man, you're nuts. So
So then, drawing. I didn't even get that. How long had you been drawing from? Like what age then? Like, and what would you draw?
Man, I would draw all the skateboarding stuff, man. That was my jam, you know, back then.
Yeah.
No skulls, all the Pal Peralta stuff.
I was just about to say that. The Caballeros, the Dragon.
The Rippers.
Shit.
A lot of the Santa Cruz stuff, like the Jim Phillips stuff. Then I started drawing my own shit.
What was your own shit back then?
Back then, as a kid, was just like guys skating, you know, girls like before junior high, girls like try to draw girls and stuff like that.
So, and now what is it? What has it progressed to and shit?
Now it's just a little bit of everything. Now it's I like to bring it back. I like to bring that old school feeling back of those 80s skateboard drawings, the PAL. Like I have the Ripper train out there. I have the Jim Phillips screaming hand train. It's just a good feeling of.
Where can they see that at, man? Where can they see your work at?
Well, on my Instagram, Nutty Boy Nutso, on the IG.
Are you a bomber, piecer, tagger? Do people even use that word and shit?
You know what? I like to try to get a little bit of everything in there, but mostly I consider myself a piecer. Yeah. I love bombing, but you know it's been more piecing lately.
What do you prefer to hit? For those that don't know, shit, like why he's here and shit.
I like to hit the auto racks. Those auto racks are my favorite. Trains, anything rolling, man. I like to get it across the country.
Why for that reason, or?
Yeah, you know, it's a great way to get noticed across the country. You know, before Instagram, before Facebook, or the social media, that's what it was. You know, people had flicks of stuff on one side of the country, and you know, trading hard copies and all that stuff.
You go back to them then, huh?
Yeah.
What's the farthest, or you had someone hit you up where they seen your work, man?
You know, it's always good to get a shout out from the boys in Mexico and Canada. You know, that's another country, and it's a whole different scene. But it's all graffiti. You know, it's great to get seen out there.
Word up! I'm going all over the place, man. I apologize for it, but you started drawing young, right? Like,
yeah.
What age?
Like 6, 7.
So then, and then when did it transition? What caught your eye about? Is it graffiti? Is it art? Is it vandalism? What do you do?
Well, growing up in the harbor, it was just seeing the big cholo tags. Like, you know, when you're a little kid and you see something like that, it's intimidating and exciting at the same time. It's like, whoa, what is that? Yeah. You know, it makes you want to learn more about it, start seeing if you could do it, like imitating that kind of stuff. And going to Dodger Stadium as a kid, seeing the freeways crushed. It just, you know, it puts something inside you like, man, I want to do that.
So that was, it's a trip. I'm just tripping out because a lot of people don't give props to the cholo tags. You know what I mean? That's why I trip out when people are honest about it. Because anyone growing up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially San Pedro's, you know what I mean? East LA, you know what I mean? That's what you do see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was definitely part of it, man. That's what lit that fire also.
You were telling me off there, but then you got serious. What does that mean? You got serious, like?
Well, you know, I got from the LCF crew about, I want to say 2007, 2008. Around that time, I started partying more, going to Vegas, doing stuff that's takes away from being in a yard at 3 a.m. You know, to be on top of a girl instead of some wall or some crack alley at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So that kind of took over what I was doing at that time. But you know, after settling down and you know having a girl and having a baby, I feel like doing graffiti is the best bad thing that I could do. I'm not hurting anybody. I can look at my baby girl in the face and still be happy with everything that I do.
So what made you come back to it though? Like
just having more time on my hands. You know, I bought a house. I had a spot where I could just kind of. At the time, it was a spot where I could just do like this. You know, like mess around, fuck around, and then it just started multiplying and started doing more and more. It's like, why am I not out there doing it?
Shit. Do you ever? Is it a career or a hobby then? What is it? I mean,
to me, it's not a hobby. It's not a career. I'm not getting paid for it. But when I don't do it, I don't feel right. So it's just like a must. It's therapy.
How about let's talk about getting paid for it though? Is that something you would be open to? I mean,
I would love to make the transition. I just find it kind of hard sometimes.
What makes it hard? Like what? Because it should be easier to hit a canvas than it should to try to fill a whole car with paint, and then, you know what I mean? Like
it should be, but for some fucked up reason, man, it's hard to get it down on the canvas. You know, it takes a lot more planning, and I feel like it's gonna be critiqued a lot more and
than a train would. That's gonna go all over the.
Well, I mean, you can see something rolling from about 2-3 miles away and be like, okay.
Dude, when you're doing it, do you think about that too? Like, man, that has to be able to be seen from that far because.
Well, yeah, I like to do shit big. You know, I like to get stuff going big. Like, I got a few whole cars that are out there. The last one I did had more detail in it, and that's something that I'm really proud of. I'd like to put that on a canvas.
What's the best paint to hit? Metal.
I like to use Cobra, but you know, round and round again, it's always Rusto, man. That stuff's just the best. You know?
Someone new to the yard going, what can you tell them, man? Because you've been doing it for a little bit longer than most. You know what I mean? What can you tell someone hitting the yard?
Make sure you hit the books before you go out. Make sure when you go, you're respectable. Don't leave cans. Don't leave shopping carts. Don't leave a whole fucking setup in front of the panel you just fucked up. You know, just try to keep it clean. You don't want anybody to know that you were there.
And fucking pardon my my lack of knowledge of the trains, but is it where the train's numbered, you're not supposed to hit it? Is that like an unwritten rule?
Well, yeah, you definitely you don't want to paint over the numbers, 'cause that goes into the workers. That's because the workers are gonna have to go in and paint the numbers back on there. You're supposed to skip, you know, anything that's on the train. Depending on how picky they're gonna get, they're gonna paint over it, or because they're gonna stencil over it. Like you see these guys just taping over everything, little spaces for everything that was stenciled on them in the first place. That goes to show that they know they're not gonna get painted over at all. You know.
All right. But so it's not like an unwritten rule or nothing. It's to each his own type shit.
Well, I mean, with the guys that are railheads and like real big train fans, you know, they say don't stay off the numbers. Stay off the numbers.
Word up. OGSQRadio.com, Instagram at NuttyBoyNutzo. Well, that's with the Z, NuttyBoyNutzo on Instagram. Go ahead and look through those flicks. And we're using the internet to promote it now. So you're actually pre-internet, before internet. Is internet good or bad for what you do?
You know, it's a constant love or hate that I got for it, because it's You know, it takes away from the hard copies. It takes away from the originality of it. Then it invites the where is that spot, or can I, you know, it's the at me at this place, or drop a pin here, where it's, you know, you had to explore it a long time before you had those spots before.
So is it good because it's easier, or bad because it's easier, or
it's good and bad at the same time?
All right, I get you.
A lot of people, it's good for getting recognition, you know, because it's worldwide. It just kind of loses something along the way.
What's more fun, hitting the spot or going back?
It's like I said, it's two different feelings, you know. It's the rush of hitting it, and then it's like the fiending to go see it.
So it's both then, huh?
Yeah.
What's the craziest shit you've had happen while you're doing what you do?
Just dealing with people in the yard, like not riders, cholos, or people that are just twacked out. You know, always want to come up and late night ask what you're doing, or want to help you paint. Like, hey, let me give you a hand.
Have you ever let him help you paint?
No, man, get away from, you know, I'm trying to do some shit right here. Like, well, what do you mean? Like, why are you trying, you know? And then it turns into like, oh, don't make me knock your ass out, homie. Like,
Instagram at nuttyboynutzo. LCF, what does LCF stand for, and why blacksmith? What is, break it down for those who don't know?
LCF is the low class family, the legendary crime family. That's you know, that's the harbor crew. I grew up in the harbor with these cats: Big Least, Wrestle, Noser, Elmo. Like, these are all the cats that were putting it down in the harbor, you know, back then. The blacksmiths crew is you know, just blacksmiths because we bang on that steel.
Ooh.
You know,
I didn't even fucking catch that, dog. How did I not fucking OGSKiradio.com? That's why we get them in here, dog. So we get shit like that. Any shout outs before we break out, man?
Shout outs to the LCF crew, P45, Digital, all the I2Ws, UTIs, all the family. Big Elmo, Wrestle, of course. Village people. My wife, the Slant, my baby girl.
Please don't do it.
That's gonna do it.
Word up, man. Instagram at nuttyboynutzo. Nutzo with the Z. Thank you, man, for coming through. Keep up the good work. On behalf of hip hop, thank you for everything you do, man. Keep it up.
For sure, man. Thank you guys.
Yeah, OGSK Radio. Stay posted. More interviews to come.
Yeah, breathe in, breathe out.